Zach Detmore here with another boring video about organization, and today I'm talking about something that I think is incredibly important to get right in a construction company or any business really, and that's managing documents related to certificate of insurance for subcontractors and W9s. So a certificate of insurance, if you don't know, is important because you want to make sure everyone who works for you has the proper insurance. And this is especially important because if they don't, you are going to get audited sometimes by your workman's comp. At least that's the case in New Jersey. So how it works would be I pay workman's comp, right? And if I hire a subcontractor that doesn't have workman's comp, that person goes under my policy, basically, because everyone who works for me has to have workman's comp. So if I pay a plumber $1,000 and they do not have workman's comp and their workman's comp rate is 10%, then I have to pay up $100 for that $1,000 of work. So it's important for me to make sure I collect certificates of insurance to make sure when my audit comes, which it does come annually, that I have all of that. So that's a certificate of insurance. And it is typically covering workman's comp, general liability, umbrella insurance if they have it, and automobile. Automobile is really only important if we're working in commercial applications, say a high-rise, where perhaps their vehicle might be inside the parking structure. Anyway, W9s are a form that we need to basically do our taxes, and the subcontractor needs it to do their taxes. So that's another important one to get right. So there's different ways of doing this. I'm sure other people have a better system, but as a carpenter, I thought I would show you the carpenter way to do it, right? The way I do it. And I don't use anything fancy. I just use what's available to me through the Google Suite. So because I use Google for all of my document storage and spreadsheets, etc., and I pay $12 a month, I believe, at this time of filming in 2022, to have them host my email addresses and stuff, so I have a professional email address. I'm already paying for that, and when you pay for that, you get the upgraded form service where you're able to upload a file through Google Forms, and that's what we're going to talk about. So instead of having to track these files, what I do is I have a form that I fill out whenever I receive a new one. So I'm going to get up on the screen here what my screen looks like and show you what a Google form is. So this is a blank Google form. If you go to Google Drive, click new form, it'll bring you to something that looks like this. And we could say something like this: enter COI here, right? And then the first question would be sub name, right? I don't know why it keeps that in there. And then you would write it, and then you would say add a question. Type, I don't know how to spell, type of insurance, right? Multiple choice, and then you could say comp, GL, you see how this works. And then it would be any other information you want, and then let's see if I can remember how to do this. Add an image, add a video, multiple choice, file upload, right? So let's respond, that's good. I'm going to say upload photo of COI, right? And make that required, make that required, and make that required, so they can't skip any steps. So that's how we make it, right? So let's go look at what mine looks like. Mine looks like this: subcontractor, COI, type of insurance, type of contractor, and then the photo, right? So if we click the view here, this is what it would look like, and you could pull this up on your phone. And basically I would pull it up on my phone. So I would write, Larry Plumber has workman's comp. He's a plumber. And I would take a photo on my phone, and then I would throw out the COI he gave me or emailed me. If he emailed it to me, I might screenshot it, or I could print it and shoot it. It doesn't really matter. That's not important. But then what happens is it's going to populate a spreadsheet that looks like this. So I blocked out my subcontractors' names for their privacy, and also because I don't want you saying, hey Zach, could you give me the name of your plumber? I saw your YouTube video and it looks super helpful. Could I have a list of all of your subs? I see it's right there. That would be really useful for me, so I could make them busy and you could never use them. That would be super helpful for me. Thanks, Zach. So that's why I didn't do that. But anyway, it gives it like this. So basically, come audit time, my bookkeeper has access to this spreadsheet, and she can basically click this link, which is going to bring her to this electrician's info, yada, 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 right? So that's how it works. Super simple. And then the other way we do it is for W9s. So a W9 would look very similar. It's just slightly different information, right? So there's the one we made. So here's mine for, if I've had 48 W9s this year, that's what the form looks like, and that's what it looks like when you would pull it up on your phone. So contractor name, their EIN, because that's relevant information that I don't necessarily want to have to pull out of the attached document, and I need to modify this so it has their email address because we've pretty much gone all digital with that. But then you could select that and upload. And so all these files are going to go into your Google Drive, and they're going to live there. Maybe you have to sort of come up with a file to drop the images into, because sometimes they'll just drop into the main drive area and you have to handle those documents. But what I like about this is there's no questions about data entry. So what I mean about that is I'm a fairly disorganized person. I know that seems a little counterintuitive because I'm doing a YouTube video talking about being organized, but I'm specifically doing this because I think I have a different view on organization because I'm lazy and disorganized by nature. So I do tend to go with the path of least resistance. So I could have a spreadsheet that I go populate, but I don't do that because every time I write things in, sometimes I'll capitalize it, sometimes I won't, sometimes I'll remember to attach the document, sometimes I won't. What happens if I accidentally delete stuff from it when I go to enter it? So I'm never actually accessing the spreadsheet when I'm using these forms to enter. I'm just accessing the sheet, and I can do it on my phone. I'm not trying to work in a tight cell. It's optimized for mobile, and it just works, and I could have employees do it. I don't need to train them. I just say, take the information on this COI and go to the form. And basically what I do is on my browser, sorry, everyone in the world is texting me, is I pull up my bookmarks, and it says enter a COI, enter an inspection sticker, enter an ST8, that's another tax document, enter a 1099 tax form, enter W9s, and enter a receipt. I also use it for receipts. I did a Google video about that years ago, but that's how I use this software. Hopefully it was helpful to you. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't, but I found this to be incredibly easy. And remember, you're paying $12 a month for the service, but you're getting Google Drive, extra storage, a professional email address. So you're getting a lot for your money, and you can scale this indefinitely. So that's how I do it. Hopefully it was helpful, maybe to help you get organized. And if you have any suggestions for me on how I could improve the way I'm doing this for my business, drop a comment below. I'm always looking to improve and learn from people who are a little more expert at the tech side of things. So thanks for watching. See you on the next video about organization.